It's her opinion that matters.
All right, and we're live. Welcome to Daily Confidence for Entrepreneurs. Jay and I were just talking about some very important stuff, and we're just going to continue with the important conversations here in the next hour or so. So, Daily Confidence for Entrepreneurs, we share tips and actionable advice so you can use to boost your confidence around running your business on a daily basis. It's a daily confidence, and it's a weekly show. So that's how it works. All right.
So I have to give enough confidence this week to last the entire next 7 days.
You got it.
I'm in, man.
So during the show and after show, we shared gifts, and for you to enter the draw, if you like, subscribe, comment, tag a friend that could benefit from the topic. If you join our Facebook page and do all the fun stuff on social media, you enter the draw. During the conversation, if you have any questions about the topic, and my guest, by the way, is the amazing Jay Fiset, and we're talking about how to find partners that will promote your business, right? That is an art, it's a skill, and Jay is going to share with you the proven method and it's not a joke. It's not like one of those fake promises that, hey, pay me and I'll show you. He will give you some actionable advice, and we got some amazing gift for you coming up. Welcome, Jay. How are you?
I am really well. Now, I have a quick question because I'm usually in my StreamYard where I know how to find the link to share it. Can you put the link just in the private chat here, and I'll share it in a couple of our Facebook groups while we're going through this?
Absolutely. As soon as I ask you the first question,
you go to town, brother.
I'll go to town. So let me introduce Jay, do the proper introduction, and then we're going to dive right into it. So Jay Fiset is the best-selling author, student of human nature, avid sportsman at 5-star hotels, speaks fluent smart Assanese, can see and reflect your life mission in 5 minutes flat, loves having 2 sons so he can play with their toys. I know how that feels. I got 2 boys. And
it's awesome.
It is awesome. Sometimes I'm like, son, that looks like a great toy for you.
You really want a remote control car.
Or one of those flying objects. Anyway, still fantasizes about his wife after 25 years, or is it 35 years? What's that?
25 years of marriage, 35 years together.
Absolutely. Loves ideas, but loves results even more. Can simultaneously laugh and cry for different reasons at the same time. Has never been struck, but did not get a chance to meet Martin Luther King, and there would have been teenage girls screaming if he had. Yes. He is dedicated to initiating a global movement of conscious creators and supporting people to organize their life and resources around their passion and gifts. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you for having me, brother. I truly appreciate it.
Great to have you and great to see you. Always good to talk with you and hang out with you. So how's your day going so far? I hear you got a hectic day.
But in great ways. So here's just whining with relief, okay? In October, we go to look at hot tubs. I say to my dear wife, getting out of the car, it's like, we are not buying one of those goddamn hot tubs. And we leave with a hot tub. And it's like, okay, I can't wait to get my hot tub. That was October. It arrived like 7 minutes ago.
Wow.
8 months for a goddamnable hot tub. So anyway, that's that. And I just finished our Blast Off Mastermind, which is our premium group from JVology, which is a bunch of rock stars from all over the world coming together to grow and scale their businesses. And now I get to talk with you, and then I get to fill my hot tub.
I can't wait to visit.
Yes. I owe you a barbecue this summer, by the way.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I'm not going to say no to that. And I'm not going to play nice and be like, no, you don't. I want to definitely.
I really do. We cut that deal, and then COVID happened.
So, Jay, what's your story?
Well, I have a whole variety of them, but in a nutshell, I am a 35-year entrepreneur. I have run 3 businesses in that time frame. My personal development company, where you and I originally met. My brand, Mastermind to Millions, which helps coaches, authors, experts position, launch, and lead masterminds. And my latest, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call it golden child or favorite child or whatever you want to call it, JVology, the perfect mix of people, fun, and profit, which is a training organization, joint venture community. We're in the midst of building a joint venture matching platform utilizing artificial intelligence. And I am originally a Saskatchewan farm kid. I am married to my high school sweetheart. I have 2 boys who are crazy and amazing. And I'm just a incredibly fortunate guy that I have great gratitude for my life.
Love it. So I know you got a lot to offer, and you got a wide range of amazing expertise and skills. Tell us about, I know you touched on it, but who do you serve and what do you do for them? So for those who are watching, they have no idea. Perfect.
So we serve entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs at all levels, but it's usually, what we'll call a small to medium-sized enterprise. So that could be, somebody just starting out who could be in the solopreneur stage. It could be somebody who is actually in the process of scaling up their business, doing $5 to $10 million. And what we help them do is this: secure a steady stream of perfectly qualified leads for free through joint ventures and collaboration. And in so doing, we also utilize, in that same process, help them solve their clients' problems better by creating what we call downstream partners, people that serve their the next process of their client's journey in a meaningful manner, where they are rewarded for that referral or for that client. And what we do is give them a steady stream of perfectly qualified leads and a recurring passive income stream that makes the entire journey of entrepreneurship 10,000 times easier, because you get to our catchphrase, JVology, the perfect mix of people, fun, and profit. We get to work with people that we care about. We get to enjoy the process more, and we make one hell of a lot more money solving more problems for the people that we serve.
Amazing. Now, for those people who had no clue what you just talked about, because
jargon,
JV partnerships and this and that, and they're like, all right, let me just turn off this thing and I'll go watch some pictures on Facebook and like some things that I don't even know what they are. Anyway, give us some definition of what a joint venture is. For people.
Yeah, so here's simplest easy thing in the universe is that almost every single person here has received an email from somebody that they subscribe to that says, hey, my friend Mustafa has this incredible program that helps you do a business plan or a marketing plan on a single sheet of paper. So in those circumstances, when that happens, usually what is going on is that Mustafa and I would have an arrangement that says, hey, your course and program is really valuable. My entrepreneurs need that, and I don't do it. If I promote you and people buy stuff, we'll do a split in terms of the revenue. So what it is it is a way to serve and support our clients with strategic partnerships and joint ventures where we share content, information, products, services, and experiences, and we are rewarded when our clients, when our tribe take action. Now, in its simplest of forms, and I want everyone to just really sort of wrap their head and heart around this, is that every business and every entrepreneur has to try to find a customer who has the problem that they solve. That's it. And most entrepreneurs go around and say, hey, have you got the problem I solve? Have you got the problem I solve? Oh, I know you've got the problem you solve, but you don't think you do. That's too bad. So we have this one-on-one arrangement. What we teach people to do is this: build strategic relationships and partnerships with the place, the person, the organization, the structure, the university, the author that actually either causes the problem you solve, diagnoses the problem that you solve, or reveals the problem that you solve. And what happens when we do that, we end up with this incredibly powerful, perfectly qualified, steady stream of leads that people just show up and say, it's like, hey, my friend Mustafa told me that you can help me solve my lead flow problem. And as long as we can communicate clearly and we can serve them from a positive place, most of those clients say yes, simply because they already know they have the problem and you come recommended and endorsed. And that's what our community does. That's what our live event like JVology Live does. Hell, that's what our free 5-day challenge does, is teach all of those processes so that people can get their biggest problem solved, which is leads. The truth of the matter is most people who think they have business model problems actually don't. They don't have a business model problem at all. What they have is a lead flow problem. They just need more quality leads that they can talk to. Absolutely. And we do that beautifully.
Absolutely. Now, for those of you who are watching, by lead, a lead is a potential customer, someone that may or might be interested in what you have to offer. And Jay lives and breathes this thing on a daily basis. So he might be when he talks about it, might sound complicated, but believe me, it's not. It's very easy. I've been through it. I've done it. It works. It's almost guaranteed to bring you customers, leads, and income and the rest of it, especially if you're starting from scratch. Now, so stay tuned and pop questions in the chat box. We're talking about partners that will promote you and your business within a matter of hours or days or weeks, right? Like, it's like you don't have to chase them for years and years and build a relationship, and and Jay's going to talk about it now. Jay, give us your 2 cents and your background on marketing as a whole and how you ended up focusing on JV partnerships.
All right, I would be thrilled to. I'm just sharing our little interview here in a couple of our groups. Give me 1 second, and we'll do that there. And there is just one other group I'm going to post it in. And marketing. I sometimes think of marketing is it's kind of like a mixture of art, science, and magic, sort of all rolled into one when it works really well. And the truth
when it works really well,
when it works really well. And the truth of the matter is that lots of people, even when things are going, let's call it things are going well, they don't really know why or what or how. And it's a little bit of juggling and a bit of a juggling trick to get the, let's call it the engine firing on all cylinders. So here's my thing about it, is that most people don't have a clue what marketing is. And by the way, if you've ever uttered these words, I always smile. This is like, well, I'm just getting the word out there. That phrase is code for, I don't have a clue how the hell to market anything or how to create a customer. So I'm just out talking about shit randomly and I hope something's going to happen, which it never does. So getting the word out there, you might as well just stay at home, sit in the hot tub. So what we try to do is to eliminate the mystery about what it actually takes to generate this thing called a paying client. And the best way to do that, please hear this, the best way to do that I'm aware of anywhere is to match the problem that you solve with somebody who has that problem and knows that they have that problem and has expressed desire to solve that problem. That's the magic trick. And I see people doing all sorts of crazy things, including trying to teach their clients that they have the problem. That's an uphill battle. Including trying to, you've all heard the phrases like, sell them what they want, give them what they need. That doing this bait and switch bullshit shuffle, which I think is completely and utterly ridiculous and misdirected and not fundamentally sound. But if we can simply find the people that say, I have the problem you solve and I want to fix it. And then you say, this is how I do it. This is what it looks like. This is what it takes. Your odds of generating a strong business go through the roof. And by the way, just when we're talking about strong businesses, how I came to this was when I ran a personal development company for like 30 years. Then I decided I wanted to work in this online marketing world. And what sort of caught fire, what the market asked for, was this thing about how to run masterminds. What was interesting about that process was I had built a bunch of key relationships with people who were movers and shakers. And when that message fit, it was very clear there's a whole bunch of these partners who had clients who were like, I want to scale. I want to stop doing one-on-one work and I want to get to community. I want to build a tribe of people that I can really relate to and serve and support. And it's like masterminds just fit perfectly. So they sent me a bunch of people saying, hey, I want to scale and I want to build meaningful relationships and I want to lead my own tribe. Ta-da, a mastermind's an ideal way. So that's why we went quite literally from $0 to $2.6 million in 14 months was the problem that the client had and our solution met perfectly. And for those of you that are having difficulty getting leads, for those of you who have difficulty closing those leads, what I can tell you for certain is that that problem solution is not meeting in a clear, direct, and powerful enough way. And frankly, that's what we teach people to do in every single thing we do. JVology Live, our 5-day challenges, our one-on-one consulting, our coaching programs, our mastermind programs. That's it. Because when that one thing happens, everybody goes,
yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm going to share the link to the upcoming challenge here right now for people that are not going to stick around for the remainder of our conversation, because let's say you heard the Jay speak about finding partners, and you're like, this is amazing. Where do I go? This is what's coming up. We're gonna talk more about it. So if you ever wanted to get into his 5-day challenge, because obviously Jay knows what he's talking about when it comes to marketing, JV partners, and the rest of it, and he's got a very strong community around it. Click on the link and opt in. And this challenge, Jay, what are the dates?
The date's May 17th, and then for 5 days. So it's Monday through the 22nd. So 17th through the 22nd. Basically, it's going to take you about 15 minutes a day to watch the video, do the activity, and then you should probably invest another 15, 20 minutes a day to get to know the other people in the challenge. Because our last challenge, we had about 1,000 people register. And just to be clear about it, those folks will become your partners as you step through the 5-day process. You will leave this thing with partners. And even if you don't know why that's valuable, by the end of those 5 days, you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And actually, gang, I did this last year. I think it was about this time, right?
Same time. Yep. We do it once a year.
Within 5 days, I think I had about 30 or 40 potential partners. And I did not even spend a ton of time on it. So when he says 5 partners in 5 days, that's like, if you're half asleep and drunk, you could do 5.
Well, it's true. And what's funny about it is people are like, well, you can't get 5 partners in 5 days. And we have people like you. I think Kimberly Hobscheid got 37.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing and you are reasonably skilled, 5 is the low end. And even if you're starting from scratch, you can still do 5. That happens all the time.
Yeah. And he's going to give you the step-by-step process. So 10 minutes, go there, check it out, and opt in. It is free. There's an amazing community and all the goodies that come along with it. So what are some mistakes that people make about finding partners? Or I know that's like probably a 2-hour conversation.
Well, number one, it's a fantastic question. So in our community, we have 2 core values and beliefs that we do our very best to build into everything. And the first of which is that we are better together. Okay. And one of the mistakes that people make in terms of this idea of partnerships is that and joint ventures is that they don't actually go all in. What happens is that they have a very sort of independent view. Most of us as entrepreneurs are like overly independent, and it's part of our strength and it's part of our challenge. People have often heard me say, for most of us, our greatest weakness is nothing more than our greatest strength turned up too loud. So for most of us entrepreneurs, what that looks like is that we're entrepreneurs trying to reinvent the wheel, doing a bunch of shit the hard way, doing it on our own, being the Lone Ranger, all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So one of the mistakes is when it comes to partnerships and joint ventures, is that instead of actually designing our business model and our entire orientation around it, is that we go as far as we can go independently, and then it's like, oh crap, I need help. Maybe I could get a JV partner. And it's like dabbling. It's like sticking our toe in the water. And the truth is, we're not truly genuinely set up in terms of our business model, in terms of our community, and in terms of our business structures to actually support that process well. And those generally lead to kind of crappy JV relationships and crappy JV results. So step one is, if you're going to do this, discover what it is and go all in. And the belief around that for us is we're better together. The truth is, you can't solve all of your clients' problems. The truth is, most of you aren't that good at most of the things in your business. You're good at one particular thing. So let's lean on that and build a community and a tribe around you that is powerful. So that's number one. And then number two is, a joint venture is a game of I'll go first. And what that means is, a JV is not a get quick rich scheme. A JV is not a fast way to get leads and some sales. Is that a joint venture takes time. You must build a relationship with someone if you want it to actually happen again. And this idea of going first means, how am I going to contribute? What can I do to serve and support you before I ask you to serve and support me? And lots of people go into this. It's like, hey, mail my stuff to your folks. It'll be awesome. You'll love it. And it's like, I don't know who you are and I don't care.
And you're going to make 10%.
Oh, 10%. I can hardly wait. Jesus, Murphy. So this whole idea of do something to become relevant to your partner. Do something to create a result for your partner. Do something to separate yourself from the sea of silly people going, mail my shit to your people. They'll love it. Like, that's a ridiculous piece. So just do something that matters. And in that, these powerful relationships occur, that opportunities come out of the woodwork, frankly, just like this today.
Absolutely. 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 Now, for someone that is just starting and they're like, I have no clue how to provide value. I don't know what to do for my partners. What are some of your suggestions for someone that's starting from scratch?
That's a
And they're
great
like, I don't know what to do.
That's a great question. So one of the things that we do in actually both the 5-day challenge that by the way, if you're just even remotely curious about this, just register for the 5-day challenge. It's free. We're going to knock your socks off. You're going to get a ton of training. But one of them is there's an entire day where we work around helping people get clear about their platforms and their resources. Here's the truth of the matter is that most people at the beginning of this start with like, I don't have anything to share. I don't know. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? But here's the truth. When you go through our worksheets about platforms and resources, what you're going to find is that you have an abundance of platforms and resources to share. Most people keep thinking about this as like, oh, my list isn't big enough, or I don't have a bunch of buyers. You don't need that. What you require is a process to articulate, number one, find, track, and articulate ways in which you can support your clients and your JV partners. And it does not need to look like an email. In fact, I say to people is like, when we do JVs, sending an email might represent like 1% of everything that we do. 1%. The breadth of what is possible for JVs is so stunningly large, it is crazy. I'm in the middle of a JV right now where the positioning of it is I get equity in their SaaS company. Yeah. So, when people are thinking about it, it's like, wait a second, how's that working? Well, I'm doing a little bit of coaching and consulting. I'm doing a little bit of testing and trialing. I'm doing a little bit of introductions. I'm doing a little bit of hand holding. And the deal is for equity. Okay. So don't think about this as about sending an email. What you've got to figure out is what are the platforms and resources you have. Now, in my case, I'm reasonably well connected. I've been working at this for a long while. I understand the SaaS business because I'm in the middle of building my own SaaS platform. And I've been talking to a whole variety of people that could play at a high level with this. So you just have to go through the process, and there's an entire day. What are all of my platforms? When I say platform, think of it like, what's my social media platform? What are my social media groups? What are the communities I'm associated to? What are the clubs? I'm a car guy, so the Porsche Club of America, the Ferrari Club of America. Like, what are the platforms that I have reach through, and how could they be utilized to serve and support one of my partner? And then resources, that can be a multitude of things. So that could be excess capacity on your team. Those resources could quite literally be, here's a fun one in terms of resources. With excess capacity, I have actually put people in front of my entire community on stages, through both sponsorships, through JVs, through simple favors, because I wanted to help them because they had something important to do. Okay, so when you think about the resources, and just here's a really silly and easy one. Every single person who I know who has a child and is willing to read the book, I send a book called Healthy Sleep Habits, Happy Children. That book saved our lives. And the people who actually read it and use it, I still get notes back. It's like the most significant gift I got in my entire da-da-da-da-da. So it can simply be even either a book referral or good old Amazon Prime for $13.95. You can get it sent to their house and make a monumental contribution in their lives. So those are just broad examples, Mustafa, but every single person I've ever talked to in this process grossly underestimates their platforms and their resources. And once we start helping them work through it, it's like, oh my goodness, I have reach and connections and possibilities that I never dreamt of for my JV partners. And that's where the magic happens.
And you did a pretty good explanation there. Here's my experience. People think they need a massive email list with JV partnerships, and maybe you don't have a massive email list. But here's what most people have: a social media platform, and it's super easy to go up to Jay and say, "Hey, Jay, I know you have a challenge coming up. I'd be happy to share a couple posts on my platforms about your thing." Do you think that's going to build equity in that relationship?
Yes.
Absolutely. Now I may not have a list, but I probably know someone that has a list, and I'd be happy to introduce, say, Jay to my friend who has a list and start connecting people. And we all know people, right? Absolutely. So, and like you said, we have way more resources and things around us that we don't tap into. But by going through this 5-day challenge that Jay has coming up, he will open a new world and multiple doors to you that you probably didn't think about. And Neil says SaaS, software as a service. That's what you meant, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good to see you, Neil, by the way. Haven't seen you in a long time. Hello, Kat. Good to see you.
Yeah. So gang, we're talking about finding partners that will promote you. If you have any questions or comments, pop in the chat box and we'll do our best to answer them. Now, Jay, what I know we talk about resources. What do we need in place to get us started with JV partnerships?
So that's a great question, because I'll tell you what, the single greatest, just gonna move this back here so I can look at the camera. The single greatest thing that we hear time and time again is like, I'm not ready yet. Okay, like I'm almost finished my digital program. My book is almost complete. I'm writing my new signature talk, my, whatever the hell it happens to be. But as soon as that's done, I am totally in. And to that, I say bull. And the reason being is this, is that people are under the impression that to JV, they have to have their book, their digital program, their offer, their course, their program, their workshop, or whatever the case may be, all worked out. They need to have their Infusionsoft account with their affiliate links and all those sorts of things all worked out. And the truth of the matter is that for most people, and I mean this in all seriousness, if you're starting from scratch, for most people, getting that really dialed in, 12 to an 18-month process. Like it's not something that happens overnight.
Oh yeah, it took me a while.
It took me over 3 years, and I did it in a dumb way, to be perfectly honest. So I thought I could figure it out on my own, and I spent 3 years spinning my wheels and burning my money in my backyard. Sure, I could figure it out because it can't be that hard. I've seen the people doing it, and then after I burnt all my money, then I hired people to help me to figure it out. I suggest to all of you, just hire somebody to help you figure it out. At the beginning, it is far, far, far less expensive. By the way, I've come to think of that as the stupid tax, and I don't like
share something?
Please.
One of my resolutions this year is this: I am done being a smartass. I'm not. It sounds funny, but it costs me 7 figures every year to be a smartass. I'm like, I'm done with that.
Yes.
I'm going to go out and ask questions. I'll be like, "Hi guys, I have a problem. I don't know what I'm doing. Can someone help me?" It's a lot, like Jay said, a lot easier. What's it called? Less costly, less headache, frustration, and the rest of it.
Yes, understatement of the universe. And I pay enough taxes. I don't need to also add to in the Canadian tax system. I don't also need to add my stupid tax. Okay, I want that money back.
The weekly dumbness tax.
Exactly.
I try to figure this out on my own.
I totally forgot what the hell I was talking about. Where did we go before I got distracted by taxes? We were asking.
JVs.
Yes.
What do people need to get started?
Oh, yes. Okay. So here's how you get started. This is the simplest thing in the universe: is you make a decision to support somebody who has a similar client journey to you, and you contribute to them to build the relationship so that when your book, workshop, whatever it is done, that relationship exists. And what people do wrong all the time is they hide in their basement finishing their book, their workbook, their digital program, all the rest of it. And they're down there for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then they come up and it's like, ta-da, I'm ready. You should JV with me. And the world says, we don't know who you are and we don't care.
Yeah.
You have to build the relationships. You have to understand the business model before the product, service, or experience is done. And every single time people want to turn that around, they slow their evolution and development down by 12 to 18 months. So the time to build the relationships, the time to learn how to do this through supporting others is frankly about 1.5 years ago. But if you haven't done that then, now, you will work your other shit out. You must. But do not work all that stuff out in a vacuum and then think that you're going to enter the JV space ready to roll.
Yeah.
I had just as a tangible example, I had a gentleman who was helping his mom. Actually, they're here in Calgary, and he had lofty JV dreams and goals. They quite literally had spent $350,000 on a television studio. They'd produced these 7 programs with television quality editing, all those sorts of things. They did this incredible project. And now they were like, okay, who's going to mail for me? And they wanted to hire me as a JV broker because they'd already discovered that the answer to that question, who's going to mail for me, is fundamentally nobody. Nobody. You have no proven stats. You have no proven you got nothing to bring except a done program. And quite frankly, there's 22,000 programs that are already done that have proven sales. I'm going to do that one first. Thank you very much. So anyway, I sort of give him the come to Jesus talk about it. It's like, you did this bass backwards, and this is not going to end well for you unless you have a significant intervention. And I proposed what that intervention was. He said, no, he's got this handled. To my knowledge, they're not in the game anymore. And that was after hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment. So the long and the short of it is this. What you need to start with is clarity about the order of operations. And step one is build relationships with people who have a similar client journey, and do that simultaneous to refining, defining, and perfecting your product, service, and experience, not the other way around.
Interesting. Can I share a little tip for what I learned?
Please.
Here's an easy way if you're starting from scratch. Watch people that are promoting something, right? I saw that Jay was promoting his challenge coming up. I had a last minute cancellation yesterday. I'm like, I need someone on my show today. Guess what I did? I reached out to Jay. Jay, I have a last minute cancellation. Would you like to jump in? Guess what Jay said? Yes. Why? Because he's in the middle of a launch, right? That's like the easiest thing you could do. And everybody has some social media platform that you could just click, and in a matter of 3 seconds, you're live with your guest, exposing them to your audience. How hard is that? And honestly, if you're scared of being live on camera, it's just the first 2 or 3 times that, or the first time, that is really scary. Once you go live and you get used to it, it's not as bad. So we all have that. So if you keep an eye for people that are actually promoting something, that's an easy way. Like the year and a half that Jay was talking about, building a relationship. If you keep an eye on people that are actually doing something, and you're like, you know what, I would love to have a relationship with that person. Easy peasy. Like, I have reached out to people that have no clue who I am, but what I just shared with you, I have started building relationships just like that.
Well, everybody needs a platform. Everybody's trying to be seen. Everybody's trying to break through the noise. Everybody wants a spot where they look like the expert. So one of the key things, and just to take this a step further, so then the next piece becomes going back to our worksheet of platforms and resources. Once we're there, is like, and what is the next platform and resource I need to build? So is that a podcast? Is that a live event? Is that a shared stage? Is that, like, what the heck is it? Because when you get clear about creating a platform, that's where you can attract unbelievable talent. And that's frankly what we got really busy about doing. Once we understood this model, it's like, hey, we're going to build a platform that is going to feature, celebrate, and show off the people in our community.
Jay, tell us about the difference between the daily grind that business owners have to deal with versus the JV grind. If it's a grind, like, what are the differences?
I might be a little distant from the daily grind, to be perfectly honest with you. But here's the part that I know, is that statistics are really, really clear in 2 key categories. One of which is business success and failure, and the other of which is the mental well-being of entrepreneurs. So let's do business success and failure first. The truth of the matter is this, is even though the tools are more accessible and more powerful today in entrepreneurship than they have ever been, is that businesses are failing faster and at a higher percentage than they were just 5-7 years ago. Now, that's a little bit daunting to me. So here's what we also know in terms of just talking about the failure rate, is that 2/3 of businesses in the United States make under $100,000.
2/3 of them.
2/3 of them. Only 1.7% of them break 7 figures. So here's what we know for damn sure, is that if 2 out of 3 businesses are earning under $100,000, they aren't making a shitload of money. I mean, the truth of the matter is that in Canada, you can manage a Starbucks for $85,000 a year and not have the worries, the headaches, the accounting, the bookkeeping, the song and the dance, and the all of this stuff.
Really? Starbucks manager makes 85 grand.
Plus, they get coffee, which is probably worth another $100,000, at least for me.
I should probably go apply.
So
I drink a lot of Starbucks. So
you and I both. I might make money getting a job there, just on the trade-off. Anyway, but my point to that isn't about Starbucks. My point is that there's an awful lot of ways to make almost $100,000. That is a hell of a lot easier than being an entrepreneur. like one hell of a lot easier. And the fact that 2/3 don't make it is tough. Now let's get to the 1.7%. A dear friend of mine, Susie Carter, was saying is that of that 1.7%, it's like over half of them aren't even profitable. They've got great sales, but they're not running a business that actually makes any real freaking money. So that's also like god awful and daunting if we think of it that way. So here's what we know from the stats. Most entrepreneurs aren't making a ton of money. And that struggle that they go through is what I've come to call the marginal success trap. And it's a business that works well enough that they can't really leave it. They can't leave it because there's receivables, there's clients, there's obligations, and it's sort of working. But it's not working well enough for them to drive the car that they want, to have the healthcare plan that they want, to have the holidays that they want, to send the kid to the private school that they want. It's not there yet.
They're just busy, I guess.
They're busy making ends almost meet.
Yeah.
And frankly, I designed a program called Escape the Marginal Success Trap to help people see it, address it, and know what to do with it. So the step number one is that most people in businesses are in the thick of thin things. They're doing a bunch of stuff that in many cases they shouldn't be doing. And they're doing a bunch of stuff that doesn't truly move the needle for their freedom. Now, in the JV space, in the JV world, what we do is we get really clear about doing the thing we do really well. And we bring in other businesses, other partners, other strategic partners to handle the other pieces. And we get paid, please hear this, even when we don't work. And we get paid when we serve the clients who know they have the problem that we solve when they say yes. And in that process, what I see happening, and this is my personal experience, and I've talked to tons, I think it's true for you as well, that instead of, I'm going to call it the mundane mechanics of doing a bunch of shit in your business that number one, you don't like, number two, you're not good at, is that we shift that to building relationships with people we care about. Our phrase is JVology, the perfect mix of people. It's people first. Fun, people that we actually enjoy doing things with, both our clients and our partners, and profit. That's what that catchphrase is. And so we build relationships, we connect with human beings, we're not stuck behind our screens, and we make more money. So that's sort of that front end. Now let's just talk about mental health for a brief moment. There was a study that was done in Forbes that basically says this in a nutshell. 7% and by the way, I'm sure this number is higher with COVID. This is pre-COVID. 7%, if you grab 100 people off the street, anywhere, approximately 7% of them will be clinically depressed at that moment in time. And by the way, for those of you who've heard the number that, it's 63%, it's like, that's cumulative. We're talking about any snapshot in time. Now, it is like about 2/3 of the population faces depression at some stage of the game or another, but any instant, we're talking about 7% on average. But here's the thing. If you're an entrepreneur, that number is almost 34%. Think that through for a little bit. We are almost 5 times more likely to be clinically depressed than somebody who pours coffee at Starbucks or has some other job or some other version. So when we think about it, I perceive that depression rate is related to, number one, being too alone. Carrying too much, trying to solve it, and being stuck in that marginal success trap where it's like, God damn it, this is close, but it's not quite it. And that burden weighs us down. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking of getting the domain lonelyentrepreneur.com.
You know what? If you don't have it, you should get it because it is true.
It's a lonely journey. And with a community of support, it is a lot easier. And I could probably raise both my hands and my feet about the daily grind and the depression that we have to deal with. Yes. And then when we have a community, like you said, it's a lot easier. It's like you said, guys, I have this problem. I need help.
I've come to call it the entrepreneurial safety network.
Yeah.
So instead of the entrepreneurial safety net, it's the entrepreneurial safety network. And that is in large part what we deliver in our community is like this camaraderie, this support, this capacity to send a text, say, hey, could you help out with X and Y? Or, hey, could I serve and support you here? Like that experience transforms us at a deep, powerful, and meaningful level.
Absolutely.
So anyway, those are just two of the things that when the JV spot is when the joint venture community and team and tribe is in place, the load lightens, the profit gets higher, the people that we serve and build our relationships with bring more joy, and we align ourselves to our unique, I'm going to call it pointy gift, instead of trying to do a bunch of stuff that isn't quite right for us.
Absolutely. Now, for those people that are watching and listening, Jay, and they're like, they've heard or listened to us so far, but they're like, oh, I'm still not sure. Give us a couple of good pointers that why we should care about JV partners or JV partnerships as a whole.
Well, here's a great one. Lead acquisition. So I'm currently in the middle of a little Facebook campaign where we're running some tests, and we're running tests, by the way, for our. And by the way, I should qualify this, because I've had people say, it's like, well, wait a second, you're the JV guy. Why are you running ads? And here's the short, simple answer: is that no one ever should rely on one source of anything for their businesses. That would fall under the category of soon you'll pay the stupid tax. Yep. Okay, so I am always doing more than one thing. I am always testing other processes. So our current test, by the way, for somebody to opt into the challenge from cold traffic is $21. That's the cost. Okay, let's just use 20 because it's easier to count.
Yeah.
So
that's $20 for
one opt-in for the challenge on our current Facebook testing of campaigns. And we're continuing to tweak that. I believe that's probably going to come down to 12, but the last bill I just sent $500 Facebook for was $20 a lead. Okay. So here's one of the things. I literally just got off a call with one of my partners who in the last challenge sent me 500 opt-ins.
And guess what that cost?
It cost me precisely nothing on the front end, but I do think that I ended up sending a couple $1,000s in commissions, in terms of affiliate commissions.
On the back end.
By the way, I got paid first. So again, even the money I sent to them was money. It was found money. I would never have had that. I wouldn't have seen it. But here's the deal. If you just use what transpires, that single partner sent me $10,000 of leads.
Yeah. Because if you were doing it on Facebook, you would have had to pay $20 each for 500 people. That's 10 grand.
Precisely. And here's the thing about this. Facebook leads were nowhere near as well qualified as her leads. The Facebook leads were fairly cold traffic. Like, who the hell is this J guy? What the hell is a JV? Why should I do this? I'm not sure I want to. I don't know if I have 5 days. She says, look, we just help you build a course. Your course is stunning, but it doesn't matter much unless you have people who want to actually do it and you need traffic. Go talk to Jay and do his challenge. Ta-da! They have the problem that we solve. They've got a course, they need traffic. They've got a course, they need leads. It's perfect. So for no other reason under the sun than to get the best quality leads for the best price, called free in the universe, you'd be batshit crazy not to do this. It's like, if I were just say, I'll give you 500 of the best leads under the sun, perfectly qualified for you, and I'll get them to you for free. And if you're sitting there going, well, I don't know, I'm pretty busy, maybe next time, after Mercury's out of Gatorade, whatever your bullshit story is, that's not smart.
I'm laughing because I've done that kind of dumb bullshit stories we've all done that, right? Like, time is now. Gotta get it.
So the short answer is this: free leads. Now, the next piece to this is, so that's at the front end of your business. I'm going to teach you this upstream, downstream model in the challenge, by the way. You're going to get free leads. Now, the other part to this is going back to the $1 million businesses. So 1.7% of businesses break 7 figures, but only about half of them are actually profitable. Making money and being profitable is not the same thing.
2 different animals.
Lots of folks are making some decent money, but not keeping any of it. That's not great. So here's the thing. When you set up your business that you've got downstream partners, which is like, hey, and I'll give you a perfect example. So I help people set up their business to do JVs. If you're going to do JVs, you need something, you need a CRM, a customer relationship management system that has affiliate tracking so that you know who to pay, what they did, how that all works. So I teach people about JVs and they say, I want to do this. And I'll say, great, you need a CRM. Yeah, now it's a little bit of a problem. I say, well, why don't I introduce you to my dear friends at Infusionsoft or at ClickFunnels or at ThriveCard or at. I'm pretty much agnostic in terms of the tool. I don't care. If you use their software, please hear this, I get paid. So let's imagine somebody signs up for Infusionsoft, it's $197 a month. I get paid 30% of that for the life of the client, arbitrarily. That's not the deal I have, but I'm just giving an example, okay? So what occurs there is that 30% that Infusionsoft, my downstream partner, pays me. Please understand this, my friends. This is something that people miss all the time. That money is pure profit. It goes directly to the bottom line. There are no fixed costs to it. There are no variable costs to it. There is no delivery cost to it. It is this thing called profit. And for any of you who need to grow your profit, which, by the way, for the most part, is every single freaking entrepreneur on planet Earth, this is why the downstream partners are so damn important. So again, come to the challenge. I'm going to introduce you to quite literally hundreds of partners, some of whom could be upstream, some of whom could be downstream. But what we can do is we can add profit to your business, please hear this, without any additional costs. And that's where this gets really sexy.
I love it. And with the figures and stats that you were sharing, with my experience over the past 10 years, well over 90% of business owners don't even think about profit. It's like they're all trying to be busy. They're like, oh, I got a business. All right, big shot. How much money are you making? I don't know. Well, let's look into it. Are you making profits? Oh, no.
Yeah. Don't ask such silly questions. I literally had, and just I got to give you a heads up because I only have about 4 minutes left, brother.
Yeah, no, we're all good.
I had a gentleman in a mastermind who kept talking about the number of sales, his dollars in sales, and they were in the high tens of millions, so $50 million, $60 million, and the other people in the mastermind were always like, oh. Yeah. But over time, hearing the stories, it was like, the number you're saying and how you're showing up and who you're being don't seem to like.
There's no match.
Yeah, like what the hell is going on? So you got to tell us more about this. And so as we start getting under the hood of the company, it's like, yeah, we got $50-60 million in sales, and we're losing $3 to $5 million a year.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, based on that numbers, like you're only losing $1 per widget, and you're making up for it by selling more widgets. We're going to make up for it on volume. Like it was just bad.
It's like if you shut down the business, you'll be 5 mils a year ahead.
Yes.
Why? So, gang, I hope that you do join Jay's challenge. It is amazing. You're going to meet a whole bunch of amazing people. And I'm going to post the link here in the chat, in the comments. So go grab it, opt in, show up, and be smart and follow what he says. Don't do it like I did. Be smart. He is giving he is putting it on a plate and giving it to you for free. Take it and tap into the community, tap into the collective wisdom of all the people in there. There are people from literally all over the world, and he's not joking when he says a few hundred or a few thousand people in the group. I'm in it. It's amazing. Yeah. And I'm not just saying that because I know Jay. It's because I have been through the process, and over the past year, I've been filling up my courses and my trainings through JVs. Super easy. Here's one more quick tip, and I know Jay has to run. All you need is 4 JV partners per month to promote your shit. And you're laughing. You need just 4 a month. That's it.
And that, by the way, is with a good offer, is a strong 6-figure, potentially 7-figure business.
Oh, easily. Anyway, so I'll put it in there.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you and your expertise. I can't say enough good things about Jay. You're going to love the process that he's teaching. And amazingly, he's graciously offering it for free. So tap into it.
Come do it. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Alrighty. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, gang. I hope you enjoyed that conversation and that show with Jay. And so one more thing that I'm going to make an announcement about what we're doing. The confidence giveaway is coming up at the end of May through the week of May 31st to June 6th. Now, if growing your list and growing your community and having the potential to serve more people is on your radar, joining us as a contributor is an amazing way to grow your email list so that you could go and JV with people, right? You need at some point you need what you might call it a JV partner, right? And so what you might call it, an easy way is to join us as a contributor in the confidence giveaway. The theme of the giveaway is to share gifts with business owners and entrepreneurs to help them boost their confidence in different areas of business. We have 7 categories. We got finance, mindset, sales and marketing, business strategy. We got health and wellness. There are 7 of them. I'm going to put the link in the chat box. And if you're watching, listening to this, the address is dailyconfidence.show/join. If you want to join us as a contributor and put up your gift along with the other people that are there to contribute and grow their list and serve and support business owners. And if you are interested in the gifts, come back during the week of May 31st to June 6th, and we're going to be there. Last time that we ran this giveaway back in November, people were really happy. Both the people that collected gifts and our contributors were really happy and raving about the results. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for joining me. Again, as usual, if you like, subscribe, comment, ask a question on any channel that you're watching. You enter your name for the draw for gifts. And Jay shared his gift. We got our giveaway coming up. If you're interested to join us, post your questions in the comments, and we'll take it from there. My name is Mustafa Hosseini. You're listening to Daily Confidence for Entrepreneurs, and I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. See you later. Bye now.